I'm meeting with an expert who may have a radical new answer to these questions and proof that Atlantis was real through the blood of its descendants.
I understand you have a real interest in bloodlines and blood types, and that there actually may be some connection between blood type and the descendants from the lost civilization of Atlantis.
Jessica Farrell is a hematology expert who created an online database that tracks thousands of Rh-negative individuals. And her site has amassed over 1 million visitors from around the world.
Tell me a little bit about how you became interested in this, first of all.
I had a pregnancy when I was younger, and I found out during my pregnancy that I was Rh negative, and unfortunately the pregnancy was lost. And I always thought that maybe it had something to do with me not knowing ahead of time about my blood type, so I just really started researching it.
To be Rh negative is one of the rarest blood types in the world. Only 10 to 15% of the people on this planet are Rh negative. It means they're missing a key protein.
Anytime there's a negative at the end of the letter, that means that it's Rh negative.
So is A negative also Rh negative?
Yes.
Anything with a negative is Rh negative?
Anything with a negative is Rh negative.
Oh, okay.
Even more mysterious, people with this blood type tend to have higher IQs and unique physical features like an extra rib or vertebrae. Despite these rare traits, no one can explain this blood type's origin. Plato described Atlanteans as a race of people who were half human and half god. If they were an entirely unique race, there would have been some distinctive signature in their DNA. Is it possible that the Rh negative factor could be the genetic link?
As a whole, there's no known earthly origin for the Rh negative individual. So since there's no known origin and we don't fit the typical model for how we got here, people make up a lot of stories. There are a lot of theories. There are a lot of myths out there, but there's no actual fact to say where we came from.
So is this the idea that it's a different species?
It's a possibility that it could be a different species. Can't say for sure.
Wow, I mean, the idea that there's another species of human being is something I've never considered or heard before. It's such a fascinating notion. So are there characteristics that accompany Rh negative blood type that don't accompany any other blood type?
The Rh negative people do have a stronger concentration of certain characteristics and traits.
And what are those characteristics?
So we have a board set up over here to kind of look at.
Whoa. Spot pointed ears. Do you have spot pointed ears?
It's not always necessarily an extreme
Oh,
point, but it's this little notch right here by the helix.
Yeah.
It's something that I noticed on your left.